This is a silent round, so there will be no OAs after the round. You may approach me afterwards for personal feedback on Facebook or for reasons of justification. That's perfectly fine. But for now, no verdicts, no verdicts whatsoever. These are 4-minute speeches, so please time yourselves as well. I'll try to post timestamps in the chat, but no promises, as I'll also be tracking as well. If you want to give a POI, time is between the first and the last 30 seconds of an individual speech. Grace periods until 4 minutes and 30 seconds. But do try to keep it short because afterwards I'm probably not right. Yeah, and just indicate POI preference at the top of your speech and your preferred gender pronouns. For all those reasons, under the motion, this House as the scientist would reveal the information to the world, Prime Minister, whenever you're ready. Do you want to begin the recording now, CMI? Or has the recording already started?
Yeah, I'll start the recording now. Thank you.
All right, cool.
So can I start?
Yep, already.
Okay, my speech will start in 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, if I have a cancer and I will die, I will want the doctors to tell me about it, about the fact that I will be dying on a few years or so, because of the fact that I want to have the best of my life in those years. Judge, this is the same case with the motion. The government side will want scientists to tell to the people about the fact that the world will be ending in 5 years. We believe that by doing this or so, we believe that the people can be prepared for this, prepare for the end of their life, and we believe that it will bring up much more benefits to the society. Which I'll explain furthermore in my arguments. And now moving on to my first arguments, which is about that this motion goes against the core value of human beings. So to explain what this core value is of the human beings is that human beings, different from other creatures or animals, we believe that human beings have choice in making decisions. However, if the scientist doesn't tell any other information that the world is going to end in 5 years, we believe that this is going against the core value of human beings. Now, to explain how the motion is doing this, as I said before, because if people don't know about the information that they're going to die, they'll make unconscious decisions, and we believe that people will make good choices if they have the information. Now, to again explain the core value of human beings, we believe that if human beings doesn't know any information about the fact that the world's gonna end in 5 years, we believe that this is going against the core values of human beings due to the fact that the people cannot make choices of this situations. And yeah, so moving on to our second arguments about how this will better prepare the end of the people's life. So to explain about this, we believe that people know about this situations and that the world's gonna end in 5 years. We believe that the people will be able to have the best of their life and prepare for the end of their life. For example, to explain about this, we believe that if people know about this, and the fact that they're gonna die in 5 years, we believe that they'll have the best of their life and do the things that they weren't able to do in their previous life. For example, if they had a dream of going to other concerts or things, then they can do that, and it's out of order. And if these people aren't able to do this, then they'll have a life of dying, which they aren't even able to do the things that they were able to do in the previous life. And we believe that this is not lot of beneficial things for these people. So I'm very proud to propose that. Thank you.
All right, thank you for that fine speech. Without further ado, Leader of Opposition.
Am I audible?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Okay. Okay. My speech will start in 3, 2, 1. Chair, the side has lost the second they misunderstand because this is clearly an actor motion where the scientist is an actor. They have lost the second they failed to bring up an actor analysis on how the benefits actually help the scientist in the first place. Our side clearly wins here. Now, the whole stance is on the fact that the scientists, that the people need to know that this thing is coming because they need to prepare for it. But two responses for this. Number one, they bring up the example of if I had cancer, I would want the doctor to tell me. Well, yes, but do you think the doctors have any benefit for it or feel any better from it? This is an actor motion, like I have said. You have not done any actor analysis. Therefore, that example and that whole argument cannot be credited. Number two, even if my doctor told me, I wouldn't feel motivated to live my life or just like I want to feel like, oh, I have 5 years of my life. I'm gonna go vacation. I'm gonna go holidays, things like that. I wouldn't. I would feel panicked. I would feel depressed that my life is ending. I would feel like the doctors are the doc. I feel like the doctors told me that I was cancer, and now I am panicked and depressed. I want to go suicide because I'm gonna die anyways, right? Now they told us that the people will be able to have the best part of your life if they know that they are gonna die. Well, no, this is completely untrue. You'll likely be panicked and depressed like what I've said just now. But on one side, their side says that they will be motivated to spend the rest of their life fruitfully. And on our side, we said that we will be panicked and depressed instead. Which side is more likely? Obviously, when you have cancer, you're not gonna be all sunshine and rainbows thinking that I'm gonna live the best life in the next 5 years. You wouldn't think that. You wouldn't have that kind of mindset because the doctor just told you you're gonna die. That is not. You're not gonna act happily and you're not gonna think positively. Now, what about our stance? On our stance, we believe that if the scientists would uh reveal this information, he would cause so much conflict and he will feel so much guilt. He would tell his loved ones, and then his loved ones will be so panicked and so depressed because they're gonna die anyways, that this will completely just be a big consequence for the actor in this motion. Now, what what are the winning metrics for both sides since they failed to state it in their PM speech? On their side, they have to prove how this panic, no, how when people on their side live the best life because they know that they're dying anyways, it benefits the scientists, and we have to move on how our side, the conflict and the stress that is caused by this secret will inevitably cause more harm towards the actor. Number one, we tell you that as a scientist, I would definitely prefer to watch them live their lives to normally and let life continue as usual. As a scientist, I firmly believe that if I have found this secret, I wouldn't tell it to anyone because what would this provide to me? This would provide me nothing except maybe some recognition, and also it will definitely provide a lot of consequences, which I will expand on later. On our side, we will propose many reasons on how there are consequences to this. I, as a scientist, if I have found this wonderful secret, would definitely not tell it out. Now, the panic that is caused by revealing this will definitely affect the scientists, right? It is absolutely not debatable that conflict wouldn't happen. The question is, how will it affect the scientists? As the scientist, obviously the environment around you will affect you directly. The loved ones that are stressed and are very depressed around you will definitely affect you negatively. The environment around you will affect you negatively. Yes, you may have the guilt and have to keep the secret inside you, but it's worth it because when you see your family and loved ones living normally, even if you know they're gonna die, at least you can live with them in the last years of their lives, even though they might not know they are gonna die. We believe that this is more valuable because on their side, they are just making random conflict and they claim that they will just live better lives when they do not prove it whatsoever. On our side, we benefit the actor, whereas on their side, they have lost their first speaker because they have never brought up any actor analysis and therefore have no benefits towards the actor. We clearly win in this debate easily here.
All right, thank you for that fine speech. Deputy Prime Minister, here.
My pronouns are she, her. I would like my POIs verbally. And assuming that I'm visible and audible, I'll start my speech in 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, assuming that I will inevitably die in 5 years, and if there's somebody that clearly knows this fact, I would much rather prefer for me to be informed of such cases. The reason being, ladies and gentlemen, we tell you so far how the opposing of the motion goes against the core value of human beings, which is making choices. And secondly, why the motion is effective. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to further rebuild on what people can do if they know about the fact that they will inevitably die in 5 years. Ladies and gentlemen, we think that the very fact that people are well aware that in 5 years they will one day perish into the void, we think that they will much likely be able to spend time with their families, spend a lot of time and make the best out of their life that they haven't been able to do so far. The very fact that they are able to realize that they can make choices in order to make the best out of their life, we think there's nothing to regret about such cases. But before we move on to our final constructive, which is that where we will explain why there won't be any chaos, we want to rebut to the previous speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, the previous speaker tells us that scientists will feel guilt that they have made such discoveries, and that the inevitable fact that people will one day die, that will put an immense amount of burden on the scientist, him or herself. However, ladies and gentlemen, we think that the chances of the scientist feeling guilt is, regardless, very minimal. We think they will not feel guilt because we think their choice allows humanity to be more human, and as explained before, as explained before, embrace their core value, which is making choices. We think what distinguishes humans from other beings is the very fact that they can make choices, and they can actually use their intelligence in order to make logical and rational choices. Refused. Now, moving on to our final constructive, once again, where we will explain why there won't be any chaos. We want to ask you this question: when does chaos actually happen? We think chaos happens when people are met with very minimal information. Let's take war, for instance. People do not know when their enemy will attack. People do not know when their enemy will suddenly barge into the borders. People are unaware of the very fact that their enemy might kill their family at any moment whatsoever. However, ladies and gentlemen, we think that these people might be so much more prepared and are ready to accept the fact that they will be heading into war once they are fully aware of the current status and situation. Once again, there's something called collective effort and collective intelligence. We think the chances of these people falling into panic and causing a huge and immense amount of chaos is once again very minimal, because firstly, they have an extensive amount of time, which is 5 years, which gives them more than enough time in order to adapt and give them time to process the information. Refused. But once again, we think that such opportunities allows them in order to have more information and stay less calm. We want to ask you once again, does this completely get rid of chaos? Absolutely not. The very fact that the world will inevitably come to an end in 5 years does cause somewhat of a panic among citizens. However, we think it is most definitely better than having no information at all, once again, because of the reasons we have presented before. We think that chances of purges and extremely chaotic events happening will drastically decrease once these citizens are well aware of the situation and current status. Therefore, we are very proud to propose. Thank you.
Thank you for that fine speech. DLO, you're here.
Am I loud and audible?
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay. Sorry. My speech will start in 3, 2, 1. Panel, side government think it's better to see chaos in the world than see it in peace before seeing the world is ending. And we, as side opposition, will show you why we have won this debate. Here. I'll be starting my rebuttals before moving on to my arguments, then to weighing. Firstly, my rebuttals. The second speaker of side government has said that there won't be any chaos when they realize that when people realize that the world is ending. But this is simply not true. I don't think they have listened to our first speaker because we have shown you the reasons, and side government has chosen to ignore it. Now I'll be moving on to my arguments. My main argument is that about the impact on it has on the impact on it has on people psychologically. I, as the scientist, wouldn't want to be the person who reveal to the world that everyone is gonna die because I know it will affect everyone badly. This is true because the mental health of people will worsen by depression or anxiety because they have the knowledge of the doom of the world. Because of this, depression and despair will be worldwide. And two, the knowledge of knowing the world is ending is too heavy for many people to bear. Like what my first speaker said, it is better to allow people to live their lives without fear in their hearts, knowing they will die. This is important because people will live in constant fear and anxiety, realizing they only have 5 years left to live, and they know they will die. This number two, you wouldn't want your parents or your loved ones to know they will die and they knew because of you. Imagine what you will feel. You realize that your parents know they are dying. Your parents know they will die in 5 years just because of you. Your cousins, your little siblings, they know they will die because you told them. Number three, criminals in jail would not want. Number three, why this is important is because the criminals in jail would not want to live in jail for the rest of their time in the world. It's guaranteed that there will be a breakout, causing more chaos, criminals escaping, and also meaning robberies will be more common. I, as the person, wouldn't want to be the reason robberies and deaths are common. Meaning, moving on to my second argument, the increase of criminal rates. Since side government think it's better for people to be happy and live their best life, criminals or mentally ill people would rob, kill, and the purge will probably happen. Now, before moving on, any POIs? Three, two, one. Now, panel, I'm moving on to my weighing. If you know the consequences of revealing this to the world, you would know that side proposition will be in a mess because the world will be in a chaos. People will run away, people will kill, people will do crime. But on side opposition, the world will be peaceful, and you might feel, and yes, I might feel guilty, but at least you know your loved ones are happy. The world is at peace, and no one will know that you're gonna die. And no one will know that everyone is gonna die in 5 years. In conclusion, panel, I have proven to you why side opposition wins this debate due to the impact on the people, the chaos that it will ensue, and even with guilt inside you, at least you know your loved ones are actually having a life instead of panicking, thinking of death. So proud to oppose. Thank you.
Right, thank you for that fine speech. Tough whip whenever you're ready.
Can we have like 5 seconds, like a little bit?
Yeah, sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, time's up.
Am I audible?
Yep, loud and clear.
I'll start my speech in 3, 2, 1. Throughout this debate, the government side tried to prove why following the motion and why the scientist has to tell to the society and the world about about the world actually like ending and etc. And now to addition and because the government side strongly believes that our arguments were more powerful compared to the opposition sides, and we believe that there are two questions that must be answered in the debate, which is first, what distinguishes us from others, and second, how will we deal with the chaos in the society? Now we'll move on. Before we move on to our two questions, we believe that we want to clarify to the opposite side that those crimes and etc. will not happen easily, and those criminals and crazy people will not run away because there will be collective efforts like our DPM have just clarified, and that we also have the government and collective efforts so that we can catch them again and not let these people to make a chaotic society and doing random and crazy things.
That being said, now we'll move on to our first question, which is about what distinguishes us from others. Now, throughout this debate, the government side has continuously clarified and mentioned that choice is one of the most important human values, and choice is what makes us different from other animals, plants, and etc. And because we believe that this choice is something that makes us to be quite different and makes us to be human beings, we believe that these choices are so important. And we also believe that information, true information, is also very important to maintain these choices. And what the opposition side is saying, and not letting and saying that the scientists should not tell about the end of the world, is making the rest of the society to have wrong information, making wrong choices. And the government side believes that if these correct choices based on the correct information is one of the most important human values, is wrong choices with wrong information correct, and does this maintain the meaning of life? Yes? No. Was it a POI or not? Okay, let's
Don't you
just
think that this human value can be undermined by the fact that there is a justification?
so we believe that the opposite side saying that the scientists should not tell about those true facts of the world ending is actually just giving these people fake information, not being able to know about the true fact of the world, which is completely wrong. And now we'll move on to our second question, which is about how we will be dealing with the chaos in the society. Now, let's just consider that there might be a chaos in the society, and but we believe that because there will be collective efforts of the society, and there is the government, and there's so many people who will most likely adapt to the society and will know how to make their life better in this society where it might end in a few years. We believe that the chaos will most likely not happen, and even though it happens, these people will most likely be able to deal with it. And also because, like we have continuously mentioned, these people having true information and being able to make correct choices will help them to not be depressed in fear, but actually just try on new things, the things that they wanted to do for the rest of their life, but was not able to try because of uncertainty. But now that they know that they will die, and that they
Why?
don't, that they out of order, and that they have more, that they are not like living in uncertainty because they know when they'll die and etc. We believe that they'll be able to try things that they were not able to, even though they wanted to. And also because we believe so, the government side believes that these people will not be depressed and just suddenly suicide in a random day, and that because these people, the correct choices based on correct information is one of the most important human values. The government side believes that the government side have taken this debate. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for that fine speech. Opposition whip whenever you're ready.
Chair, give me a second.
Okay, 1 second's up. All right,
Am I audible?
yes, you are.
Chair, firstly, Thai government is debating on Neptune. They are not telling us much about the motion. They aren't even. This is an active motion. They are not relating towards the active motion. They do not tell us how the scientist is being affected. They are telling us that the society will be okay. The society will be good. This is all so fake. This government side is debating on a world which doesn't even exist. I don't think they should be allowed to get the win. Now, let me just tell you what has been stated by side government and side opposition. Government has stated what will happen. Mass panic. Correct. Our first speaker and our second speaker has already stated what will happen when people know that the world is going to end. Firstly, the criminals. That is already very correct because humans will take pity on the criminals. They will let the criminals go. And then the criminals will start a lot of chaos. They'll be starting robberies. They'll do a lot of chaos and the world will be so chaotic. Chair, this is just the first point inside government's opposition's case that government is not even considering. They say that if there is chaos, I think that the government will be able to handle it. This is so fake, Chair. Now, psychological impact. Psychological impact already lasts because this will increase suicide cases because people will be so my first speaker has already stated these points. Let me find that. 1 second. First speaker had already clarified to y'all how when people know, people will feel depressed and then they want to kill themselves. So this is exactly psychological impact. Our first and our second speaker has already stated this very clearly. I do not understand how government is going on not listening to these points. Now, another thing, Chair, the clashes, social stability on side opposition, the social stability is better. Less panic, but on side government, more panic. Social stability is horrible. Now, onto the choice that y'all keep talking about throughout your whole entire speech. Y'all are forcing the people to, the scientists to tell people this is already no choice. Humans have freedom of choice. We're just advising. We do not force the humans to give to the scientists to tell. Now, protection from harm. Side opposition protects people from the harms. We have 5 years of peace, unlike on side government, which 5 years of peace is practically we have peace. Side government's case is not even 5 years of peace. They have 5 years of horrible life. Criminals just running around the streets free because humans take pity over this because the world is going to end. Chair, this is exactly why side government opposition should be taking this case. Best case, worst case scenario, government, the people will be normal. Wait, this is already wrong from the get-go. Government has already contradicted themselves and has killed their own case by saying that things will be normal. Then Whip comes up and says maybe there will be a little bit of mass panic. But then this is already very false, Chair. Now, on opposition, our worst case is that there will be no panic. The world will be stable. People may not know, but then this is already very good, Chair. In conclusion, side government already has a lack of engagement, only answering two of our POIs. They haven't even attacked our case. They haven't even POI'd us. What are they doing, Chair? With this, I am so proud to propose and I end my speech.
Okay, thank you very much for that fine speech. Can you guys give me like a minute or two? Because I actually need to go to the washroom. Toilet break, everybody.
Can I ask a question? Oh my God.
Hi, okay, so apologies for that. I'm back. Yeah,
Ryan,
we'll do opposition reply.
Ryan. Can I request to change the reply speaker?
You want to change the reply speaker?
Yeah.
Alright, sure. Who's doing reply now? Nathan, huh?
Yeah.
Alright, cool. Whenever you're ready.
My speech will start in 3, 2, 1. Chair, there is no question in this debate here. Obviously, opposition has clearly won because we have actually provided actor analysis. They have completely missed the point. It has been 3 whole speeches and there has been no actor analysis as I pointed out in my first speech. But now, right, what about the other parts? When we brought up chaos and the fact that there will be conflict, they just brush it off by saying that we can deal with it. The government can just deal with it. This is completely just missing the point because there is chaos. If you just say that you can deal with it, number one, it's a one-liner and it doesn't make sense. It's not expanded at all. And number two, they brought up the fact that you need human choice, right? You have the right to know the truth, but the right of a human to know the truth is obviously easily undermined by the fact that you have but when you have a justification. The justification here is that when they know the truth, there will be conflict and there will be chaos. But I have already POI this, they have not engaged and they have not responded to that whatsoever. They just ignored it. Now, moving on to the fact that they have no engagement whatsoever. Now, I would like to point out first that they have never POI'd us, and when we POI'd them, most of the time they just rejected it. And also, I've heard very, very less engagement from every single one of their speeches. It's as if they do not want to engage in this debate. We would love to engage, but they do not let us. Now, based on these points, I would like to say that we have clearly won this debate because number one, they missed the whole point of the debate in the first place. They did not correlate their case with the actor. Number two, they have a lack of engagement. Number three, they bring up irrelevant points and irrelevant responses. That is why we clearly win today. Thank you.
Alright, thank you for that fine speech. Without further ado, to wrap up the debate, Gov reply.
Once again, my pronouns are she, her, no POIs. And my speech will start in 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, as the last speaker of today's debate, I would like to clarify our case today by telling you what we have heard so far in this debate. Ladies and gentlemen, side opposition tells you that inherently peace and security is achieved by misinformation and lies by scientists. However, again, we tell you we refuse to call that proper human life. Several times we tell you about the core human values and the fact that humans make choices. We think the society we see, the society we strive for is the choices and rational decisions we as humans make, and especially as a group. We think as a scientist, I do not think I will feel guilt because I've disclosed information that the world is going to end in 5 years, because I am not the one that is bringing harm, or I am simply informing society and giving them a chance to make human decisions and appreciate and embrace the core value, once again, of human life and human decisions. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not the fact that citizens have the right to know the truth. It's the fact that they have right to make decisions. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this has not been clearly responded or elaborated inside opposition, that we tell you how several times that the core value and the main part of human life and human instinct is the very fact that they know how to make decisions, is the very fact that they realize that they can make rational decisions with the current information and status they are in right now. Again, this has not been properly responded to. And once again, we repeat the very fact that we strive for a society where humans make rational decisions and choices, where they're fully aware of the situation, and that therefore we think this inherently causes less chaos. Therefore, we are very proud to propose, and we take this case home.
Okay, that concludes the debate. I invite both speakers to cross the floor and shake hands. See you guys in the hall. Good luck with breaks.